Welcome to this DBMS class. In today's class, first we will take up two case studies. And in this case studies, we will revise how 1, 2, 3 and boycott normal forms are implemented. Let us take case study 1, which is related to courses and students. The first normal form was telling that all the attributes should be atomic. That means we say not null, some value must be in the column. Some value must be in the column. Then we say it is normalized to first normal form. Smith Peter, Smith Mary, Smith John. But Smith was missing before the row Mary, before the row John. R NA and R Michael. But R Michael, their R was missing. So we have empty space, which we can say it is non-atomic. What we have to do? We have to apply normal form. So we apply the first normal form. At this you can see that Smith was recorded for 3 times. Rum was recorded for 2 times. That is how we figure out the first normal form. So what was the condition for first normal form was all the attributes are atomic. There should not be any empty spaces, etc. Repetitions is accepted. Okay. Next comes second normal form. If we are going to say it is second normal form, what was the thumb rule? The thumb rule was it should be in first normal form. That means every column must have a something in it. Every column must be filled. No empty spaces. Then it is going to be in first normal form. Agreed. My first condition is satisfied. What is my second condition? The second condition was all non-key attributes are fully dependent on the primary key. So if a table is in second normal form, what was the thumb rule? It must have primary key. It must have primary key. If the table is going to have a primary key, by default you can say that it is in second normal form. Very simple. So course, student, grade, address. Okay. Now just think in this directions. You got A grade, you got B grade, we got O grade, and your house address is there. Is there any relationship between grade and address? Nothing, right? O grade girl lives in Guntur, B grade girl lives in Vijayawada, C grade girl lives in some city. Is there any meaning? There is no meaning. So there won't be any relationship between grade and address. But tell me, a girl named ERIK got A grade. Yes, there is a relation. Similarly, you can say that a girl studying DBMS course got A grade. Yes, there is a relation. Now you should understand, I have to go for decomposition. The reason is there is no relationship between the attributes student, course ID, grade. But how can I decompose it? You have to decompose it using functional dependencies. So in functional dependency, that too we can go for fully functional dependency, no partial dependencies. So address and student is related, right? You belongs to some place. So you and your address both are related. You, your course, either it can be Java or it can be DBMS, is related. But your grade and your address is not related. So there is some ambiguity, there is some partial dependency happening in the table. That is why this table is not in second normal form. Okay, now as a computer science engineer, you have to repair it. You have to normalize it. How you can make a repair or how you can normalize? I can see that student and courses are related. I can see that students and courses are related, and I can see that this girl comes from this place and she lives in this hostel. That means girl is going to have some address. So how I can put this scenario was, I can decompose the table in such a way that student and address, they are going to be in one table. So student and address. So now what we can say there? We can say here as address is fully dependent on student. We can say that the address is fully functionally dependent on student. Next. At this case, this is very clear. In course title 31, the girl got A grade. In course title 31, the boy got B grade. So in this way, we are able to fix up the relation. So wherever it is related, course, student and grade, they are related. So now you can see here, student and course, they are put in a box and then there was a black line and linking to grade. Definitely you will get a grade if you take a course. If you take a course, then only you are going to get a grade, right? A grade, O grade, F grade, B grade, like that. So your name and your course ID and your grade is related. Now course ID and grade, they are fully functionally dependent on the student, and assuming here student is going to be the primary. So in this way we solved about the second normal form, right? Now we are going for extension of the same table. Now we are moving towards the extension of the same table. What is the extension? The extension was, we need to move it into third normal form. We need to move or we need to upgrade into third normal form. Okay, let us upgrade. Then how can I upgrade? You can upgrade to third normal form with two conditions. What are the two conditions? The two conditions are, it must be in second normal form. What is second normal form? I have a primary key in a table, then it is a second normal form. Okay, I got the definition. Next, what is the second rule? The second rule was no transitivity dependency. You are very familiar with the transitive property. What is transitive property? X to Y, Y to X, Y to Z, and Z to X, right? This is very, very simple property. And this simple property should not be in a table. Then we can say there is no transitivity. If there is no transitivity, then you are going to be telling that my table is in third normal form. Very simple. So in third normal form, there should not be any transitivity dependencies. Remember students, you are doing mini projects, and of course if you are doing in full stack development, or if you are going to do it in two-tier application with one front end with HTML, CSS and back end with any database, maximum you can do will be third normal form, not more than that. Even the industry applications, bulk industry applications, majority of the projects, we can say 90% of the projects they will end up at the third normal form, nothing more than that. So third normal form, up to third normal form, if you are in the project, that is max you are doing. In third normal form, we can encourage foreign keys. In third normal form, we can encourage foreign keys. That means I want to relate table 1 with table 2. I want to relate table 2 with table 3. If such is a case, how can I make a relation? I can make the relation when I am going to use a foreign key. Okay, now come to this diagram. We have student and course, they are packed in a box. That means student and course are implicitly related. Fine. Now let me put student and course as X and let me put value as Y and let us put grade as Z. Now student and course, they are related to value. Student and course, they are related to grade, right? They are related to grade. Grade means Z here. SC means X here, right? So now, if such is a scenario, I shouldn't get transitivity dependency. Then what I can do is, I shouldn't have a merger where grade is not dependent on the varied value. Now, here is a table here. Student, course, grade, and grade point. Now you are aware that grade point and grade are related. If you get 90 above, you say you got O grade. If you get 80 above, you say you got B grade. So it is related. Grade and grade point are related, but both can't be fitted to student and course. Any one is there, that is a given. So even in your mark list also, what you will see, every course you will get A grade, O grade, B grade. But at the end only you will get the grade value, CGPA or SGPA. So it is a cumulated value. But every grade is going to have some range. You got O grade in one subject, that means you got 90 above. You got 80 above, you will be getting A grade. So what is the relationship? The relationship is between grade and grade point. So you can separate it as a table. You decompose it as a separate table between grade and grade point. Now, as grade and grade point are related, now bring this grade into the first table. That means what you are going to do? You are going to put a foreign key. You are going to put a foreign key. Now grade is assumed as the primary key in table 2. Grade is assumed as primary key in table 2. And in table 1, it is assumed as a foreign key. And of course, we are right now assuming student name is going to be the primary key of the table. We are assuming student is going to be the primary key of the table. So in this way, we decompose the table and we created a foreign key relationship, and we eliminated duplicacy also. What is duplicacy here? A4, two values are coming. Why two values should come? You put A4 one at a time and you call the A to the main table. So you are linking it. So that is more important when we are going to fix up the things. So now you can see that there is no transitivity between grade and grade point via the student and course. So student and course, you can see that they can go from X to Y. There is a relation between X to Y. There is a relation between X to Z, but there is no relation, between what? There is no relation between X to Z. Hence, transitivity is not there. Therefore, we are going to say it is in third normal form. Fine. Now, let us move to the fourth word, that is called as boycott normal form. So in boycott normal form, what was the thing was the impossible content which was not tracked in the third normal form, that is lossless join and dependency preservation, was missing in the third normal form and it was taken up. So if I am going to have lossless join and if I am going to have dependency preservation, then I can say we are in boycott normal form. Very, very simple. So first normal form, atomic, second normal form, primary key, third normal form, no transitivity dependency, fourth normal form, sorry, the boycott normal form, it supports one, lossless join, no loss in data. Two, dependency preservation. What is dependency preservation? I will have functional dependencies. That is, I will have key constraints. So via the functional dependencies, I am seeing that the key constraints are meeting. What are key constraints? Primary key, foreign key, candidate key. If these elements are there and if these element roles are functioning very well, that means normalization is done, implemented successfully, then we can say it is going to be in the boycott normal form. So now you can see that the previous table, student courses were put in a box and we linked it to a teacher. Now what we are going to do is we are putting a red mark here between teacher and courses also. So you can see here courses are dependent on the teacher, student and courses are dependent on the teacher. So for that we are going to go with an implementation part with dependency preservation. There we are going to take up the boycott normal form. So in this way, we've taken up the case study 1. Now, let us work on another case study. The another case study was between supplier, parts, and city. The second case study was between supplier, parts, and city. So there will be suppliers. So people who are going to supply soaps, people who are going to supply some other cosmetic products. So those people we will call them as suppliers. And whatever items they are going to supply to us, pen, paper, books, staplers, anything, those we assume they are going to be consumables. For in case we call them as parts here. Okay. Now in this table, you can see that S1 is a supplier, S2 is a supplier, S3 is a supplier, and S1 is supplying part 1, part 4 and part 3, and they are separated with a table, comma. So we can say it is not in first normal form. We can say this table was not in first normal form. If such is the case, then how can I convert it into normalization? That is, I am going to see that wherever a comma is there, I will repeat it in a separate row. That is, put each entity in separate rows. Put each entity in separate rows. So now you can see that S1 and P1, S1 and P3, S1 and P4. So instead of 3 commas, we put 3 rows. Next, you can see that S2, P3, there is only one occurrence, we gave it. Then S3, P2, S3, P3. So what you can do, instead of putting 2 separate things in a table, you are going to derive it into 2 more rows. So now you can see that all the values are atomic. All the attributes are single valued attributes or single valued attributes. Therefore, now we can assume that these entities, it is fitting up the first normal form. It is fitting up the first normal form. Okay. Now, let us look into the second aspect. That is second normal form. To go with second normal form, we should understand what is functional dependency? In functional dependency, we will start working from super key. From the super key, we will call up the candidate key, and from the candidate key, we will call up the primary key. We will call up the super key, then we will call up the candidate key, and finally we will fix up the primary key. So now, excuse me. So now, in second normal form, we look with the functional dependencies. So at this case, you can assume that x to y we are going to mention. X to y we are going to mention. So y is going to be functionally determinant on x. So the things which are towards your left hand side, we call it as determinants, and y that is towards the right hand side, we call it as dependencies. Also, there is one more name. X, we will call it as key attributes. Y, we will call it as non-key attributes. X, we will call it as key attributes. Y, we will call it as non-key attributes. So now you can see that name is totally dependent on the supplier. City and status, they are dependent on the supplier. Status is dependent on the supplier. And now you can see a relation, supplier and part, both are going to point out the quantity. Okay. So every part is going to have a name or a number, something, and how many parts are sold, etc. we are going to mention up. So part and quantity will be related, right? So you purchase soaps, they will ask how many soaps you purchased. You purchase books, how many books you have purchased, 1 book, 2 book, 3 books. So product name alias part and how much you purchased. These two are going to be a related component. So now there are some partial dependencies also. What is this partial dependency was? Supplier and part, they are going to be dependent on the name. So who is the supplier name? Jones. Next one. Supplier and part, they are going to depend on the city also. Similarly, from which city the product was taken up, whether it is Paris, it is London, etc. So in this way, we do have partial dependencies in the relation. Now, when we take up the second normal form, what is the condition was? It should be in first normal form. Second condition was no partial dependencies. That means two or more attributes need not be mentioned at a time here. And third thing was it should be having a primary key. So now we have the basic table. We have the basic table, supplier, name, city, status, part and quantity. Assume city status is called as pin code. Assume city status is called as pin code. Now we find there is a duplicates, right? 10 Paris, 10 Paris, 10 Paris, 10 Paris. It is duplicates. Why? If you are mentioning city, status is enough. No need to mention city. Or if you are mentioning city, no need to mention status. Why to put both the things in the table and make this table more complicated? And similarly, you can see here S1, S1, S1 name is going to be Jones. It is repeated for 3 times. So we have some redundancy values in a table. We need to go for decomposition. So for eliminating such decomposition, what we made was there is a quite bit of relationship between parts and quantity as mentioned earlier, and we assume supplier is going to be the primary key here, and we decompose the table. We are going to decompose the table here. So supplier ID followed by supplier name followed by the pin code, and thereby we are mentioning the city there. City was Paris and London here. This is table 1. In table 2, what we are going to do to make it normalized, to make the previous table as an unnormalized form to the normalized form, what we made here? We made supplier, part and quantity as a unique value. And if we want to have a name, yeah, of course, we can call the table as we have a relation called as supplier, right? So in this way, we are going to mention up whatever attributes can be related, those are related. So supplier is going to have his ID, supplier name, to which city he belong, what is his pin code of a city, that it is having a relation, right? What is your ID? What is your name? What is the place you belong? What is the pin code you belong? That is all related. But what is part and quantity is related, but there is no relationship between the city, the pin code and the quantity. There is no relationship between pin code and part. If there is no relationship between these two, why you are going to put both in a single table? There is no relationship. So we need to divide this table into multiple tables, but those multiple tables should have a relationship among each other. That was the condition. So the place where the product is mentioned and how many parts you have purchased, is there any relationship? There is not at all. It's 0% relationship. If 0% relationship is there, why we put the both the tables in a single table, separate it in, make this into two separate tables so that there won't be any ambiguity. So in this way, we are going to mention up the things. Now, let us extend this thing to third normal form. So when we work out with the third normal form, we need to meet up 3 conditions. What is the third conditions? First, it must be in second normal form. 2, no transitivity dependency. No transitivity dependency. Third one, we can go with foreign key. We can go with foreign key. If I'm going to call it as second normal form, all key non-key attributes are dependent on the key attributes. That means directly or indirectly you are telling you must have a primary key. Now you are decomposing the table into 2 parts. That means the 2 parts of the table has to be related. How they have to be related? They have to be related if there is a foreign key. So until unless there is a foreign key, you can't mingle those aspects. So that's the reason why we are going to put the foreign key constraints and link up the table. Now, as mentioned to the previous table, what was the repetitive task we found? 10 Paris, 10 Paris, 10 Paris, 10 Paris. So 4 entities are there. If such is a case is going to happen, why need to put it in a single table? We are bringing this with a unique table. So you can see that repetitive task is totally abandoned, totally deleted. So you had only one instance, Paris 10, London 12. So you gave a zip code. The zip code earlier it is 4 times. Now you can see that it is repeating only for 1 time. So that's how you made a decomposition. This is table number 3. What is table 2 here? So in table 2, you can see that supplier is there, his name is there, and his place is there. That's all. There is no more information, right? So supplier is there, supplier name is there, and supplier city is there. So supplier will have an ID, supplier will have a name, and to place where he belongs, that is done. Now, what is the master table here? That is table 1. In table 1, you gave supplier 1, how much parts, what is the name of a part, or what is the ID of a part, and how many parts that person has procured. So we call it as a quantity. See how simple the complex table, now it is totally understood. right? This is the complex table. Supplier names, pin code, city, part, quantity. You put all the 5 fields in the table. If at a glance, first time if you see in this table, you can't understand what is the relationship between name and city, what is the relationship between name and city, and what is the relationship between name and part, supplier and quantity. So there is lot of mesh to understand the table. That's why we are going for normal forms. So in normal form, you can see that this person is a supplier, this person is having these many parts, and this is the part name, and these many items, these many number of items are available with that person you gave in this model. That is done. So there is no ambiguity. In another table, what you are going to write, supplier will belong to a supplier will belong to a place called a city, and his name is this much. You are going to give in this direction. So it is very, very clear. If you have your register number, you have your name, you have the place where you are. So nothing more in the table. It is very reluctant. It is very accurate. So the information is very precise. So there is no ambiguity. But in the earlier table, the lot of ambiguity was there. Now city status, let us call in our terms as zip here. So now you are going to put every city is going to have a zip here, pin code here. Now we were telling no transitivity dependency. How can I see with my eyes? Are there any transitivity dependency here? Just check it up. Assume supplier is X and in this table, and here supplier is going to be called as Y here. So now X to Y relationship is available, isn't it? So that means you made a relationship between table 1 and table 2 that is available. Next one. Is there any relationship between table 2 and table 3 using foreign key? Yeah, city to city I can make. That means there is a relationship between Y to Z. Yes, there is a relationship between Y to Z. So now you can see that table 1 supplier, table 2 supplier, you made a relationship. That is X to Y is done. Then city to city, Y to Z is done. Now tell me, is there any common between city state, supplier, part and quantity? No, right? X to Z. Is there any relationship? Not at all. There is no relationship between, no relationship, no relationship between table 1 and table 3. There is no relationship. That means no transitivity is there. No transitivity is going to be available at this case. That is the key takeaway from this slide. So the algebraic aspects, transitivity property you can observe. Supplier to supplier relation is there. That means table 1 to table 2 relation is there. X to Y is there. Again, city to city there is a relationship. Y to Z is also there. What is transitive property? X to Y, Y to Z, Z to X. Is Z to X available? Supplier part quantity is one table, city and status is another table. Is there any common to mingle? Is there any common to join table 1 and table 3? No, not at all. That means there is no transitivity dependency. That means there is fitting up the third normal form. That's all. So that is how we are taken up two case studies as a part of today's class. So in these two case studies, we worked out with the uh, uh, important normal forms which are provoked in all the projects, etc. So we will talk about a brief regarding the fourth and fifth normal forms. As we discussed much on 1, 2, 3 normal forms, let us look into fourth and fifth normal forms quickly. And what was the takeaways from this fourth and fifth? That will be the most interesting part here. So coming to the uh, lossless join. coming to the word called as lossless join. The takeaway was I have a table 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2, 8. Now I decompose the table into AB, it is done. Then I decompose the table into BC, it is done. Right. Now you can see 1, 2, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, you made it. Then what other combinations I can make? 1, 2, I can make 1, 2, 2, 3. Then I can make 1, 2, 2, 8. Now see the base table. See the base table here. In this base table, is there any relationship here? 2 to 8, 2 to 3. So now you can see 2 to 8 and 2 to 3. Similarly, one more ambiguity you can see here. 7, 2. Then what you can write? 2, 3. Or I can write 7, 2, 2, 8. So you had a repetitive values when you made a intersection between these two items. Then you see that this predominant values are not lost. This predominant values are not lost because they are going to be part of a base table. You say there is a lossless join which have to be implemented. Okay. Now to start with fourth normal form, key takeaway was no multi-valued dependency. This is the foremost condition. In fourth normal form, there should not be any multi-valued dependency. Okay, then what is